Look at Stephanie White's reaction after the shot goes in.
The final shot only lasted a few seconds, but the reaction to it turned into one of the biggest talking points around the Indiana Fever all season. When Caitlin Clark caught the pass and rose up for the three-pointer, the arena exploded before the ball even dropped through the net. It was the kind of moment fans dream about: star player, pressure situation, game on the line, and a cold-blooded shot to steal a win after almost blowing a huge lead. But while fans were celebrating, cameras caught something else that instantly changed the conversation. Stephanie White's reaction looked unusually calm compared to what people expect from a coach watching a game winner go in. Within minutes, social media clips were everywhere, and fans started asking the same question: did the final play actually go the way the coaching staff intended? What should have been a simple highlight suddenly turned into a full-blown debate about coaching, trust, and what really happened in those last 3 seconds.
Lexi Hull, at the end of the game on Indianapolis radio, she spilled the beans. She said that play didn't go exactly as planned. Wait, what do you mean? Caitlin Clark had a wide open three. Wait, getting her wide open to win the game wasn't exactly as planned? Stephanie White's reaction after Caitlin Clark hit the game-winning shot. The reaction of a coach said, that didn't really go exactly as planned. But okay.
The conversation got even louder after Lexi Hull spoke publicly the next day. During a radio appearance, she said the final play did not go exactly as planned. That single sentence sent basketball fans into detective mode. People replayed the possession over and over, trying to figure out what she meant. Was Kelsey Mitchell the original option? Was the play designed to get Clark a look off the weak side? Or did the defense simply break down and create an opportunity no one expected? The wording mattered because athletes usually protect team strategy with safe, generic answers. Instead, Hull's comment sounded specific enough to raise eyebrows without fully explaining anything. That ambiguity created the perfect storm online because fans love trying to solve mysteries in real time. Suddenly, every screenshot, every replay, and every reaction became evidence in a theory about whether the Fever's biggest shot of the season came from design or improvisation.
Inbound from Sophie to Caitlin Clark. Now, many people are thinking this is supposed to be right here. Give it to Kelsey Mitchell right here. She's gonna get it going downhill. Tries to get a nice pull-up midi, or taking it all the way to the rack. However, this misdirection on the backside, Sonia Citrone and Cody McMahon, they miscommunicate. They get lost in assignment. They're supposed to switch and they don't switch. So one goes with Lexi Hull. They both go with Lexi Hull instead of Sonia Citrone switching onto Caitlin Clark. And we have this wide open shot, Caitlin Clark.
When analysts broke down the actual play, the basketball details only made things more interesting. The initial action appeared to involve Kelsey Mitchell coming off a screen near the top of the floor, which made sense because Mitchell is one of Indiana's best scorers and a proven late-game threat. At the same time, another action was happening on the backside for Caitlin Clark. Connecticut's defenders seemed to miscommunicate during the screen exchange, and in a split second Clark ended up completely open at the top of the arc. Sophie Cunningham saw it immediately and fired the pass without hesitation. From a pure basketball perspective, it was a perfect read. The defense made a mistake, and the offense punished it instantly. But because the play appeared to start with Mitchell as the primary option, fans kept wondering whether Cunningham simply took the best available read instead of forcing the original design. That possibility turned a great basketball play into a much bigger story about decision-making under pressure.
Then we have Millie. I'm Millie Rock on any block. Then we have Millie. The first thing that shows that play wasn't for Caitlin is AB screening to free Mitchell. The second thing is the pin down isn't set for CC. A lot of serendipity. Sophie made a clutch read and react play, and CC is clutch.
That is where the "they went rogue" theory exploded online. To be clear, there is no confirmed evidence that Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham ignored the coach's call. But the speculation grew because several moments seemed to fit the narrative fans were building. People pointed to Hull's comment, White's reaction, and even the body language after the shot. Some viewers believed Clark and Cunningham shared a knowing look walking off the floor, while others thought people were reading way too much into normal post-game emotions. The truth is that basketball is full of split-second adjustments. Coaches draw up actions, but players constantly react to defenses in real time. Many great game-winning plays look different from the whiteboard because elite players exploit whatever opening appears. Still, once fans start connecting dots, the story takes on a life of its own. And in the Fever's case, the spotlight on Caitlin Clark is so massive that even ordinary basketball moments can become national debates overnight.
Come on, Caitlin, what are you doing? People are joking around. Yeah, this is the face you make when you just lost money on a bet. You fixed. You hate to see it. Now, folks, take a look at this interaction between...
What made the story feel bigger than one possession was the fact that conversations about Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark had already been building for weeks. Throughout the season, fans closely watched Clark's rotations, minutes, and usage, and every substitution became a talking point. One moment in particular stood out to viewers. Clark appeared ready to check back into the game during a timeout, but she remained seated after White waved her off. To some fans, that was completely normal coaching management. To others, it looked like a power move. That difference in interpretation became a huge part of the narrative. Supporters of White argued that every player follows rotation plans and that coaches have to manage fatigue over a long season. Critics argued that Clark is the team's engine and should be on the floor in the biggest moments. By the time the game-winning shot happened, those earlier debates came rushing back all at once, making the final possession feel like evidence in a larger argument about trust and control inside the team.
Doesn't even look Stephanie White in the eyes. Doesn't even look Stephanie White in the eyes. You know who else had a terrible reaction to this? Look at the bottom of your screen right here, all the way to the right. That's Sue Bird. Look at Sue Bird right here.
The post-game comments about assistant coach Austin Kelly added another unexpected layer to the story. White mentioned that Kelly handles many of the team's late-game play designs, which is not unusual in professional basketball because assistants often specialize in after-timeout situations. But fans interpreted the comment in very different ways. Some saw it as normal coaching transparency, while others thought White was distancing herself from a play that may not have unfolded as expected. That interpretation led to even more speculation about the Fever's coaching dynamics. Fans started discussing Kelly's role, comparing previous late-game possessions, and debating whether he deserved more responsibility. Suddenly, a single buzzer beater had evolved into a conversation about the entire structure of the coaching staff. Whether fair or not, that is the reality of coaching a team with a superstar like Caitlin Clark. Every comment gets magnified, every decision gets analyzed, and every close game becomes a referendum on leadership.
Damn. You can't make this stuff up. Lexi Hull's comments makes me believe they went rogue. Listening to what Lexi Hull had to say on the radio makes me feel like these guys went rogue. Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark gave each other a look coming out of the huddle. Say, that's what we got to do.
Steph, was that the play you drew up, or how much confidence do you have in Caitlin for that shot?
Well, Austin drew up the play. I mean, Austin does a lot of our end-of-game stuff, and
at this point, he should just coach, Stephanie. Please, can you take another leave of absence, please? At this point, Austin Kelly should just coach.
In the end, the biggest question is not whether one play went exactly according to plan. The real question is whether the Indiana Fever can build the kind of trust that great teams need between coaches and stars. Every championship contender eventually faces moments where structure and instinct collide. Coaches want discipline and execution. Elite players want the freedom to read the game and make winning plays.
He looks more of the part than you. I don't see him slugging around. I don't see him tweaking. I don't see his arms crossed. He actually carries himself like a leader. You carry yourself like a tweaker.
It was what he drew up. We executed it perfectly. I think you see we've been in a lot of those.
Lexi Hull's looking like, damn, that ain't really what we drew up. Caitlin's looking like, damn, shut the hell up.
End of game situations, and we've done a really good job of executing.
Oh, you can't make this stuff up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, hype the video. I appreciate all of this.
The best organizations find a balance between those two things. Caitlin Clark is already one of the most watched players in basketball, and that means every interaction around her becomes a story. Maybe the theories are exaggerated. Maybe the final play was simply a smart read against a defensive breakdown. Or maybe there really is tension that fans are starting to notice.
Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark gave each other a look coming out of the huddle. Say, that's what we got to do.
Steph, was that the play you drew up, or how much confidence do you have in Caitlin for that shot?
Well, Austin drew up the play. Austin does a lot of our end-of-game stuff, and
At this point, he should just coach, Stephanie. Please, can you take another leave of absence, please? At this point, Austin Kelly should just coach. He looks more of the part than you. I don't see him slugging around. I don't see him tweaking. I don't see his arms crossed. He actually carries himself like a leader. You carry yourself like a tweaker.
It was what he drew up. We executed it perfectly. I think you see we've been in a lot of those.
Lexi Hull's looking like,
Only the people inside the organization know for sure. What everyone else knows is this: the Fever won the game. Clark delivered in the biggest moment, and one dramatic three-pointer turned into a basketball mystery that fans still cannot stop talking about.